Hey guys, I forgot here. Last video, check it out if you haven't, we designed the grass starters from my Australian Fakemon region, and following Pokédex order, we'll be designing the fire starters of this region. I don't really have any more announcements, so let's just get into the video. Alright, from what I've seen of fire starters in Australian Fakemon regions, the kangaroo is quite abundant. Originally, I had some resentment because of the supposed fire starter zodiac theory. If you don't know, almost every fire starter is based on an animal in the Chinese zodiac, except for Fennekin, which is a fox, and Cyndaquil, which is an echidna somehow. The zodiac theory broke on the release of Skull and Violet. Fuecoco's evolution line are clearly based on crocodiles. There were also other theories that the water starters were based on weapons and combat, and the grass starters were based on dinosaurs or fossilized animals. Because the zodiac theory was heavily disproved, I decided to stick with a kangaroo fire starter. I begun with a pretty good idea of what I wanted the fire starter to look like, adding some details here and there and drawing a crystal, which will be more relevant later. I decided that a way I could incorporate fire into its design would be to make its ears catch on fire, not in a bad way though. I colour the body and then attempt a fire pattern, which I've never done, so that was fun to try. I get the fire correct and then shade and highlight, and here is Wallaburn, the wallaby Pokemon, a fire type. Wallaburn like to roam the scorching deserts of the region. They tend to get startled pretty easily. The angrier one is, the brighter the flames on the ears burn. Now, let's design Wallaburn's evolution. I knew that I wanted it to look more like an active kangaroo, so I tilted its body downward, continuing the patterns that were on Wallaburn. I then redrew the fire shape to make it look more natural. I coloured, edited the fire on, shaded, highlighted, and we have Flamearoo, the kangaroo Pokemon, a fire type. Flamearoo hop through the deserts of the region. The stripes on their bodies become warmer the redder they are. It's time for the final evolution. If you still haven't watched my grass starter video, then please do, because in that I announce the starters of my region will have split evolutions. Just before I get into them though, I want to come up with an idea. Now, what could I use? Which will be more relevant later. Alright, the crystal. The concept that Good For You and I came up with was to use a crystal to evolve it. In one circumstance, Flamearoo evolves into a fire and fairy type that can't control the crystal and becomes overwhelmed by its power. Or instead, it could become a fire and psychic type and harness the crystal's power. Let's design the fire fairy first. Good For You did a sketch of this Fakemon a while ago, and since I drew a blank while designing this, it really helped. I wanted to increase the stripes on its tail and decrease the ones on its arms and legs to make them the focal point. I came up with a pretty good crystal design and made some fire surround it. I coloured, added fire, shaded, highlighted, and the fire fairy evolution is called Mysteru, the possessed kangaroo Pokemon, a fire fairy type. Mysteru are overwhelmed and possessed by the energy of the crystal on their backs. Apparently, if the crystal is somehow removed, it will become a Flamearoo again. Now, let's draw Mysteru's counterpart, where it harnesses the power of the crystal. At the time of recording, I haven't drawn it yet, but I assume it would resemble this. I'll be back when this is done. Kangeza, the Oracle Kangaroo Pokemon, a fire and psychic type. Kangeza's mind and will are strong enough to resist the temptations and influences of the crystal it uses. They float around either with their trainer or alone, reminiscing about its times as a Wallaburn. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys like Wallaburn and its evolutions. Let me know which final form you like more by leaving a comment. Like and subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you all in the next video, where we design the final starter, the water starter. See ya!